Hey everyone, the Pink Mac here, and as you can see I have on the left the new white MacBook, and on the right the new aluminum MacBook Pro. As per the request of my readers, I am going to do a side-by-side comparison of the two machines and what makes them different, and why one machine is more desirable to a certain user. Finally, I will close this video with a few YouTube submitted questions about the machines. Okay, to start off, I'm just going to go with the obvious. You could see that the MacBook dimmed because I have that set to dim, but I'm just going to light it back up. And if you can see, I've got the exact same picture on the screens. The clownfish picture that comes standard with the MacBooks and MacBook Pros. And on the left, you can see that the white MacBook has a substantially... Oh, it just went down. Okay, it has a substantially brighter screen than it really ever has before. I unfortunately do not have my white MacBook with me, but trust me, the screen on the new white MacBook is substantially better and so much closer to the MacBook Pro line than it really ever has before. It is so bright. You can see that there is a difference between the two screens. They are both incredibly bright, incredibly crisp and clear. I hope I can get you a good, let me see if I can move this and get you just a good image. It is just so bright and clear. And then there's the there's the MacBook Pro. But the white MacBook, if you can see in this shot, the colors are a little bit, I want to say maybe more muted. They're not as vibrant on the white MacBook as they are in the MacBook Pro. So we do have a really great screen on the white MacBook. Not yet as good as the MacBook Pro, so that would be, you know, something to file under the MacBook Pro has the better screen. Okay, so that is the screen first. Let's talk about next in the base models, the hardware that comes inside of each. Just the base models of the MacBook Pro and the MacBook. Let's start with the MacBook. It comes with a 2.26 gigahertz processor, and that is the Core 2 Duo, of course. It has a 250 gigabyte hard drive, 2 gigabytes of memory standard, and it's priced at $999, just under $1,000. Okay, so then we go to the MacBook Pro. The MacBook Pro has, the base model has a 2.26 gigahertz processor, same as the MacBook White. It has a 160 gigabyte hard drive, which is less than the white MacBook's 250. And then it comes with 2 gigabytes of memory standard. And I just want to keep these screens going. Oh, they're just going to both die, aren't they? Okay, because they're not on power. But they come, I said the hard drive, and then it is priced at $1,199. So it's $200 more expensive than the white MacBook is. Okay, so let's think of other things that these two have in common. First of all, they both have the same NVIDIA graphics card that is exactly the same. They both have the same non-removable 7-hour battery, extended battery, so that is the same. They both are made of the new unibody construction. Of course, the white is made of the polycarbonate plastic, and the aluminum MacBook Pro is, of course, aluminum, but they're both very solid in design. You know, holding the new white MacBook versus holding my old white MacBook, they just feel so different because it really, this unibody construction really is so incredibly solid, and that's what they made it for, and it really does exactly what it's supposed to there. Okay, they also both have the multi-touch trackpad, glass trackpad, exactly the same features, all that fun stuff. Now, where they differ, and these are all things that the MacBook Pro has that the MacBook White does not have. The MacBook Pro has the SD card slot. It still retains the FireWire. It has a battery indicator light. That is something that the white MacBooks used to have at the bottom. My old white MacBook has a battery indicator light at the bottom next to where the battery compartment is, but this new white does not have that. and it's still retained in the Pro model. Okay, next, they both, the Pro we said had the better screen, and it also has that backlit keyboard. Okay, so these are all the things that make the Pro, and, you know, it's something that's, these things are excluded from the new MacBook line. So really, what is the difference between the two computers? And let me just try to touch on this briefly. Really, you're looking at these differences as maybe for some people slight, but for someone who is just, let's say, my grandmother, who is someone who just needs a computer that works wonderfully, has all of the greatest and latest technologies, has great storage capabilities, has the, you know, capabilities to, really, it's a great, you know, 2.26 gigahertz processor is wonderful, and with the 2 gigs of memory, it runs wonderfully. It's all she'll ever need. These extra additions that are in the Pro line, the SD card, the, you know, the backlit keyboard, all of these things, FireWire, are really supposed to distinguish the machine as for someone who, I guess, is, you know, maybe more into a technological lifestyle, someone who's more on their computer constantly. Backlit keyboard, you know, an SD card, those are just things of convenience. And although a lot of critics have been mentioning, you know, the lack of the SD card slot in the MacBook White, you know, is really unnecessary because it's an industry standard now. Well, that's what Apple is using to distinguish between its consumer computer and its Pro computer, which is more geared towards ease for the user, who is going to be on their computer most likely more than the average consumer for the White MacBook. So that's really all I can say about that. I mean, everyone's going to have their own theories on stuff, and that's just what, you know, that's what I think. And whether or not you think it's fair or right that Apple has some features on one and not the other, that's just the way it is. Okay, real quickly before this video goes too over, I want to touch on two things. One, someone had asked me told me that they heard that the remote does not work with the White MacBook. Well, I thought, okay, I'll try my remote with the White MacBook. And guess what? This has front row in it, the program for you to watch all your videos and see your music, you know, your movies and listen to your music, but it wasn't working with my remote, so perhaps that rumor is true. And the second thing I wanted to address is the issue of, I had said on, maybe on YouTube, that the rubber around the edges of the MacBook and the MacBook Pro were, what I thought were to stop maybe like smudging on against the screen so it doesn't clamp down, and someone told me it was a magnet. The magnets, as people may already know this party trick, are up here. Let me feel. That's a magnet. Okay, so these on the side here, this is not a magnet. No magnet. The magnets are up top, and then they're in the same place on the White. Okay, so those are where your magnets are. Okay everyone, thanks for watching this side-by-side comparison of the new White MacBook and the new aluminum MacBook Pro. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment, and as usual, please rate and subscribe to my videos. You can also follow me on Twitter as @MissTrenchcoat. See you later and have a happy Halloween.